Casey Barnes, how are you?
I am very, very well. Very well. It's Friday and lots of good news happening at the moment. So extremely grateful.
Well, I'm so thrilled that we're speaking today and having the opportunity, especially to say congratulations. I've just heard that your latest song has just hit number one on the Music Network charts, and that's really amazing. How do you feel?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes my wife sent me a message yesterday, and it was um, just a little statement from somebody, and it sort of was basically saying that too often when you get a really good piece of news, you sort of brush it off and you say thank you, but you're already thinking ahead to the next thing you want to tick off your list, and you don't take time to stop and appreciate that something good has happened and actually soak it in. So I think I need to take that on board because I probably do that too often where I'm already thinking about what we want to do next as opposed to living in the moment and appreciating what's happening now. So yeah, look, very happy. It's been the most successful single we've ever released. So it's going gangbusters at the moment, which is great.
Well, the single we're talking about is called Come Turn Me On. And I've had a I've had maybe two, three lessons now, and I tell you what, it's a really catchy tune and a fantastic video which you've actually invested quite a bit into with your wife, Michelle, I believe, who got really behind this, and it was a one-shot music video. And I would love you to tell us about, how that interacted and how, and getting that all done.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's credit to my wife. She's very, very talented when it comes to all the creative and concepts behind a lot of my clips. And she had this really cool idea where we wanted to make it look as though it was all sort of done in one shot. And we found this amazing location up in Brisbane. It's called the Smoke Garage, and it
Yeah,
used to be an abandoned warehouse, believe it or not, in the valley in Brisbane. And this guy obviously saw the potential in the venue, bought it, completely renovated it. It's a three-level venue, and he's done such an amazing job. And he was kind enough to let us hire it out for the night, and we went in there and had a blast, putting the clip together. And also the guy who shot it, Colin Jeffs, incredibly talented guy, and yeah, it came up really, really well. So I can't take the credit. I just did what I was told, and yeah, the rest happened without me.
well, you should take some credit because you're the performer and you're the voice, and without you and the songwriter, hey, there's no video. So
That's it. That's it.
don't downsize yourself, I say. So
No, it was a lot of fun. We got to work with some incredibly talented people as well.
mm,
A lot of the extras that are in the clip, some of the best dancers and choreographers in the country as well. There's a
that's
couple of
amazing.
people in particular that are in the clip that are featured in, Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake's music
Wow.
videos and stuff over in the States, and they just happened to be here in the country at the time and were available and were friends of ours, so they jumped on board and yeah, it came together really well.
Well, I've again, congratulations because all up the whole presentation of your song, and it must have been a very challenging time for you in COVID. For anyone in this industry of entertainment, where we were completely shut down and not supported a lot, and it's taking a bit to sort of get back still in these COVID times. What was your biggest challenge in, for you in COVID?
The biggest decision that I had to make for me was probably whether or not to release my album or not. And we'd done all of this preparation in the lead up to releasing it. We had a national tour booked in. There's a lot of preparation that happens before you release an album, and was all set to go. And then COVID came along and hit out of the
Yeah,
blue,
yeah.
and everything got wiped out. Like all of our gigs, all of our
Mm,
festivals, shows, they got wiped off the calendar. and it was obviously a challenging time for everybody in the industry, and we had to make a call. Do we put the album out, or do we put it on hold and wait to a later time? A lot of artists decided to do that, and we made the opposite decision after chatting a lot about it, and made the decision, let's put it out there and push harder than we've ever pushed. And as it turns out, it proved to be the best thing we could have done. People were still listening to music. Radio stations were still playing music, and I think more than ever, we had a captive audience, and we were very lucky that people really got behind the album, and ended up getting my first ever ARIA nomination, and we got nominated for 4 Golden Guitars, and if somebody had told me that before we released the album, I would have probably told them that they had their they were wrong, but we're very, very lucky. So it turned out well, and that was a big decision to make at the time.
Well, then COVID worked for you. It
worked out okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was tough, and really tough, especially, we probably don't talk about it enough, but a lot of the little guys behind the scenes, that really don't get enough acknowledgement, that would have struggled a lot. When you're doing live shows, it's the sound guys, it's the lighting guys, it's the venues, and all the people that are involved in the industry that really did it tough. So thank God there were charities like Support Act and others that did do a lot of really, really great work and help people out, and they deserve a huge props for everything that they did.
Absolutely. So now this song, I have to ask, because it's about obviously a traveller, a lad that goes out and he's, obviously playing life as it does, and and it's all woman's song and play, and then comes back and realises it's nothing like home and having a good woman in your life. Is this reflect to your life a little bit in your past? Or?
No, look, it's the part that probably does reflect on my personal life is definitely the fact that when you're away, especially the times that I've been traveling overseas and doing shows over in the States or recording, or you're away for a block of time, you really do miss home, and it does make you appreciate how good you do have it at home. And I always miss my family and my wife. So it's a shout out. It's definitely a shout out to my family, my wife, in that regard. But I co-wrote this song with 2 amazing songwriters over in Nashville, and incredible writers. And so there's a little bit of a side story there that doesn't apply to me, but it's about somebody, I guess, who's gone out and they've had a good time. Like, they've had their fair share they've seen lots of girls, they've had a great time, but nothing compares, to who they've left behind or who's back at home. So, yes, it could be taken out of context if you were referring it to me.
Yeah.
So I guess you need to clarify that for sure.
Yeah. No, and again, it's a great song. It really is, and obviously it's proving well. So you're on tour. You've been on tour, but you've still got some dates, and there's the Gympie Muster is the big one. So tell us the touring dates and what are we going to see from Casey on tour?
Yeah, well, this is a brand new. Actually, we're about to kick into a brand new tour. It starts in 2 weeks from today, and we're lucky enough to be traveling all over the place. We're starting in Brisbane and Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, but we're doing a lot of regional spots like Rockhampton, Cairns, Townsville, Mount Isa, getting down to Sydney for our first show in 2 years down there, Central Coast of New South Wales, and it's so great to be back doing live gigs again, and then working up towards some of these bigger festivals like Gympie Muster in August, and Mount Isa Rodeo is happening in August as well, and then there's a few others later in the year. We're going to get down to South Australia, and there's a big one. Hopefully all goes to plan, but in Victoria, that's not until October. So, we'd be pretty hopeful that things should be back on track by October. But look, extremely thankful that we're back doing shows. I missed it a lot last year, so we're making up for lost time.
I bet, because it's nothing like performing live and engaging with your audiences and your fans.
Absolutely,
Yeah. And
absolutely.
it's what you're built for, isn't it? To perform
Yeah, and
as
I think that's one of the things that was highlighted through COVID is, you know, how obviously how much you miss it, how much you probably took it for granted, and
yes.
it's not just the artists that maybe took it for granted, but even music fans, that love going to live shows. As soon as
Mm,
it's all taken away from you, you realise how much we thrive on it, and these gigs that are coming up, it's going to be a great opportunity to get back out and see some familiar faces again. And it's been good actually because it's given a lot of the fans a year to soak up the album, learn all the words, and really it's perfect timing the way it's turned out.
well, that's fantastic, Casey. It sounds like, you've had a fantastic period, of success, and I'm sure the success trail is going to continue. You've got a fabulous hit song. Have you got more songs in the pipeline coming?
We do. Yeah, we're working on what will be the next album at the moment. So we're quite a ways through recording the next album, and very excited about the songs that we're sitting on. So there'll be new music, quite a bit of new music this year as we go, through the next few months, and we're nearly finished. We're nearly finished. So
Wow.
it's exciting, and hopefully, once the borders open again, it probably won't be until next year. Now we can get back to maybe getting over to the States again. We really want to get back over there and do some stuff too. So
Mm.
so yeah, it's all looking okay.
Well, congratulations again, Casey. I'm just, thrilled for you. And it's great to see, you know, yourself just champion, with your music. And, from me personally and Hush Hush Biz, we wish you all the best. And we can't wait to see you live. I'm coming to the one in Brisbane. So,
Oh, good one.
yeah,
Fantastic. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah,
yeah,
we anyone that's tuning in or watching today, we'd love to see you at a show. Obviously, wherever you
yep,
are in the country,
yep,
all the dates are up on the website, up on
yep.
my website. So check them out, and
We'll
we'd
be
love to see
putting
you.
them up on our website, so yeah, and putting it out on our social media. So yeah, we'll do a good old blast for
Love
you,
it.
Casey. So yeah, and again, thank you for your time, and it's just wonderful to reconnect with you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Casey.
I've been thirsty for your love. Tried a few sides and nothing else fills me up. Like when it's you, when it's us. I can't tell you why it feels right, it just does. Put a kiss on me, sweet release. Heaven sent an angel to set me free, sipping slow red wine. Take your time. I love the thought of you alone waiting for me. I can't shake your bones when I'm halfway home. Just thinking about your love feels like a drug. I'm happy to be on again. Slow it down, girl. I'm back in town. I've been around the world, seen lots of girls. You stand alone, so come turn me on. So come turn me on. Yeah. All my senses keep running wild. Think you done all you do to me, then you smile. Lord help me, 'cause I'm a mess. You could put a grown man inside the ground in that dress. Put a kiss on me, sweet release. Heaven sent an angel to set me free, sipping slow red wine. Take your time. I love the thought of you alone waiting for me. I can't shake your bones when I'm half bones when I